your faith in it. Your faith, your belief, what you believe. So, I want you to get in state. And I'm going to bring out my trusty book here. And if you have read this book, and not just read it, but studied it, you would realize there's an entire chapter on faith. And for me, when it comes to faith, I'm not going to lie to you. There was a chunk of my teenage years where I really wasn't sure what this looked like. Now I understand. And it's a game changer. So it says, faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration, translates it into its spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence, as in the case of prayer. Now you can look at this, and you might even just see the title of this and go, I don't know. I'm not up for talking about religion today. I'm not talking about religion. And you can call it infinite intelligence. You can call it God, source, spirit, universe, energy, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. It's the same thing. But faith is the head chemist of the mind. You have to blend the faith that you have in yourself, in what you're doing, how you're serving. You have to take that faith, blend it with your vibration of thought. Okay, so we talk a lot about thoughts because it all starts there, right? Your thoughts set up your vibration when attached with feeling, and they put you into action, which is getting you your results. If you start with thinking from your results, then you're just going to get the same results. Whereas if you make a decision and choose a different thought, you can change everything. But you can't just think about it, right? Thoughts, feelings, actions. You need all three. And faith is that head chemist that brings it all together. It says, faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all the major positive emotions. And when the three are blended, they have the effect of coloring the vibration of thought in such a way that it instantly reaches the subconscious mind, where it is changed into its spiritual equivalent, the only form that induces a response from infinite intelligence. And again, you can call infinite intelligence whatever you want. But when you mix together those three things, love and faith are the psychic, which is related to your spiritual side, and sex is purely biological and related to your physical. But the mixing or blending of these three emotions has the effect of opening a direct line of communication between the finite thinking mind and infinite intelligence. It is key to be able to blend all of these together. But faith is a state of mind that you can get to via affirmations, prayer, instructions to the subconscious mind, and you can do this through autosuggestion. Again, whole chapter on autosuggestion. And Hill is very clear on the importance of having a mental image, of having received exactly what you want. Like, it's already done. You have to be able to see yourself as already having it, but more importantly, feeling as if, right? You can't just say, oh, my goal is this. You have to understand that if you've been given that goal, it's already yours. It's done. You wouldn't have been given that thought if you were meant to have it. Period. You have to see yourself as already having it. It's done. And the emotion of that, of it already being done, having that faith is crucial. You can't have faith without emotion. Emotions are crucial in strengthening your faith and achieving your goal. And as your emotion grows, so will your visualizations. And if you can see it in your mind, it's done. That's how everything's created. Everything's created twice, once in our mind and once in reality, right? Like the phone we're looking at right now, the laptop, the internet, someone thought about it and then they created it. They didn't just create it, right? Everything was created twice. And as humans, that's what we're meant to do. We're either creating or we're disintegrating. And that's by law. And if you know that someone that hasn't been in creation mode, even if they have a really good job, but if they're not creating in that job, they're freaking miserable. They're disintegrating, even though they get paid a lot of money or have benefits. Doesn't matter. If you're not creating, you're disintegrating. And once you know what you want, that's where the faith kicks in, because it doesn't just show up, right? The law of gestation says when you plant the seed and nurture it, it has to come to form by law. Just like gravity, right? By law. I'm stuck to the ground right now. And I trust that because I see it. But here's the thing with faith. Just because you can't necessarily see it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So when I say, do you believe in gravity? You guys will go, yeah, of course I do. I'm like, my feet are on the ground right now. I understand it. I've seen, videos of people floating in space. And okay, I understand that that the law of gravity doesn't exist up there. Okay, I get that. But when it comes to your goal, just because you don't see the universe working for you to make it happen, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Okay, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. You don't need evidence all the time to know that it's happening. It's kind of like if any of you, whether you've had kids or know somebody that have had kids, right? You don't find out, like when the seed is fertilized and the baby is forming, you're not like, where's my baby? You know it's going to take 9 months for that baby to form. But just because in those first few months you can't see it, you don't have a belly yet, right? Like nothing really changes. You're just like, oh gosh, I'm growing a human inside of me. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Obviously, in that case, we have lots of technology now, like ultrasounds and all that kind of stuff where you can see it. But even before you pee on that stick, it doesn't mean that you're not pregnant. I can plant a seed in my garden, grow some lettuce or carrots, right? Just because I don't see them popping through the soil in the first 3 weeks, it doesn't mean that they're not working, right? The moment I plant that seed, put some fertilizer on it and water it, even send it some love, it by law has to grow. Unless I stop watering it, unless I stop nurturing it. And your goal is the exact same way. You stop nurturing it, it's done. You stop watering it, it's done. You stop thinking about it, it's done. But the fact that you were given that thought, it's yours. Own it. Have faith that it's yours. And trust that the universe has your back. Like your goal wants you just as much as you want it. When you have faith in the fact that you can accomplish your goal no matter what, it is guaranteed. Because like I said, you would have never had that thought in the first place if you weren't meant to achieve it. So if you can imagine it in your mind, you can make it happen. Our thoughts are super important because thoughts become things. All your dominant thoughts will materialize. This is why Napoleon Hill and myself encourage you to spend at least 30 minutes a day thinking about the person that you want to become and stepping into that person. And if you've ever attended Awaken Abundance in any form, we talk about this because it doesn't matter whether you are trying to grow your business or manifest money or a relationship or get pregnant, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your goal is. If you know what you want, you gotta step into who are you? Because if you were that person already, you would have achieved your goal already. Where if you don't have a goal, and then you can't match your beliefs with that goal. And then it just like is not as easy to get. You could take a goal that initially you might say, oh, it's going to take me 5 years to get there, 15 years to get there. And you could do it in a year by following all this stuff easily. But you have to do it. It's not enough just to like listen to me talk about it. It's not enough just to say, oh, Dylan, yeah, I read that book. I had read it before too, but I didn't get it. This book is one of those books that you study. You don't just read it. There's a few books that you'll see me whip out all the time. They're not meant to be read. They're meant to be studied. And every single time that you study them, you will learn something different as your awareness grows. But by clearly seeing and feeling the characteristics of the person and having those thoughts just occupy your mind all day, every day of the person that you're becoming, your true self, right? The more you focus and the more emotion that you attach to it, like get emotionally involved, the faster you will experience what you want. And that, like, it starts with that goal, that burning desire is what Napoleon Hill talks about. And you should not stop reading and repeating it until it is burned into your core. By reading your statement aloud, this is what starts to bring life and energy, and it puts you in a completely different vibration. And when you're vibrating up here, that's when the law of attraction kicks in. Have you ever had like, you get out of bed, you stub your toe and you're like, damn, that hurt. And then you like, go into the bathroom, you go to brush your teeth and like the toothpaste squirts all over. And then you like, go downstairs to make a tea and maybe you trip on a stair and like fall down the last two. And then, you get in your car to drive to work, and where normally it's however many, it added 30 minutes to your drive because of traffic, or you got stuck behind a school bus. And then by the time you get to work, you're like, holy crap, what a morning I've had. And it all started with stubbing your toe, right? And that you chose to stay in that vibration down here instead of deciding that was a one-off and no more of that shenanigans, right? We attract it in. But you have to have faith in the fact that if you think it, it is meant to be yours. You don't have to know everything about everything. You're going, I don't know if I could do it because I don't know about all these laws that Dylan's talking about. Or I don't know like how to study a book like that. Or I don't know about this like transmutation of energy. It sounds really complicated. Well, whether you understand it or not, you don't need to. I don't know it all about all of it anyways. I just know, like I know that it is real. And I'm committed to learning it because my life is kind of governed by it, whether I want it to be or not. Right? Like whether I wanted to be created or not, it came from a seed. Everything comes from a seed. Everything. Everything. It's by law. And I'll dive into these laws with you guys, but I want you to first focus on having faith. Like the faith is crucial. It doesn't matter how much you desire or you have accomplished something, because if you don't believe that you can do it, it's never going to happen. If you have the desire, but your mind always tells you otherwise, it's not going to happen. Those negative thoughts about failure will be burned into your mind and into your subconscious. That's what you've attached emotion to. And when this happens, it gets impossible to achieve something because you have directly or indirectly been telling yourself that you can't. This is what we call self-sabotage. And it's why it's super important for you to be in control of your mind. Right? Have a mental image of what it is that you want. Whatever you want to be, do, and have. And in today's world, that's super easy to do because, we have our phones on us all the time. We have access to information all the time. Right? But have a picture. Even I encourage people to make a virtual dream board and save it to your screensaver. Look at it all the time. By doing this continuously, you will start to eliminate the doubt. And if you need to borrow belief right now, borrow mine, because I am like a prime example. We're all prime examples. But I'm a prime example of someone that made a decision to grow in awareness and am getting anything that I want. And it'll become stronger and stronger because now, like, I once needed to borrow belief. My faith in all things was quite low. And that might be you right now. But you can make a decision to flip it. Cool, right? So we'll keep diving. I want to keep diving into you with this. And if you are like, okay, I get it. I need to make some shifts. Book a call and let's talk about it. I'm going to link up my calendar. And we can chat about what your goals are, where you're going, come up with a plan. And not like I said, not like little womp goals. Like I'm talking goals. And if you know anyone that has studied Thinking to Results with Bob, you'll know it's a game changer because you'll see it in them. You'll see it. It's so obvious. It's like they know the secret. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for chatting faith. You're incredible. Hello there on